So if you've been paying attention to the news, you've been hearing the officials out of Washington talking about the unemployment rate slowing, all of that. The official word out of Washington these days, it appears that the recession may be over. At least the latest unemployment figures are not getting worse and might even be improving slightly. Is it real? Is it just a blip? Has it reached Main Street, as they say yet? Well, in tonight's Mastering Your Money, two experts in small businesses. Will they join us with their perspective? Lloyd Chapman is the president and founder of the American Small Business League, a trade group that lobbies for small businesses. He is in San Francisco tonight. And in Owings Mills, Maryland, is Ricardo Bozio. He is the owner of Sotto Sopra, an Italian restaurant in Baltimore. Thanks to both of you. Good to see you. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Bozio. As a small business owner, are you feeling like the recession is slowing, the economy is getting better?
I feel like the recession is definitely not slowing. As a matter of fact, I think it's deepening. There is a big lack of confidence among the consumer, and as a restaurant person, I feel it in conversation with the customers, and it's been actually getting worse since last October.
Well, explain that. Why do you feel like it's getting, why do you think it's deepening? That was a quote from you.
It's deepening because there is a lack of confidence, and the morale is very negative among the people. In order for the economy to rebound, yeah, the numbers, the statistics may be rebounding, but the confidence is ultimately what pushes people to spend in a consistent basis. So we may have, period of good spending, like, now Christmas and everybody goes out shopping, and then you have 3 months of really decaying sales. And, as a business owner, that's what we're looking for. We need consistency for us to make plannings of hiring and making capital expenditures.
Before I get to Mr. Chapman, I want to ask you this real quickly. How, over the holiday season, I've been doing a little shopping, and I haven't seen a lot of people out at the malls. How's your business doing?
You're talking to me, Don?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Yeah, the business is doing very good. I mean, it's very strong.
So for the holidays, you're seeing an uptick in people coming in and customers?
I mean, the sales, the percentages of sales are increasing, but the people spend less. I mean, we have more people because there is an urge to spend now, I guess, because they push back so much in the...
But they're spending less, and that's what we heard about from retailers, the same thing, that there were a lot of people out shopping, but they were spending less and less. Here, Lloyd Chapman is president and founder of the American Small Business League. Are you seeing, are people saying the same thing to you as Mr. Bozio is saying?
Yeah, more and more small businesses are closing their doors.
Go ahead, Mr. Chapman.
Yeah, you're seeing more and more small businesses close their doors, and unemployment's going up. I don't think it's peaked yet, by the way. I think a lot of experts don't think unemployment's going to peak until this summer. So when I hear the recession's over, I just think that's ludicrous. It's not over for mainstream America.
So then what do you say to the numbers that you hear coming out from the government and from independent groups about the recession lessening and to unemployment slowing and what have you? What do you say to that? Do you think that they're really counting, or do you think that so many people have given up even looking for a job that they're not being counted, Mr. Chapman?
Well, I'm not a big fan of government statistics, and I think the government's trying to convince people that the recession's over, and they're not counting, as you said, people that have stopped looking for work and people that are underemployed. And I think that unemployment is closer to 20% than 10%, quite frankly. I also saw a program the other day that said a lot of retired people that have lost so much of their savings because of the recession, they're going to have to go back to work. So I just think it's ridiculous for them to say the recession's over, unemployment's going to keep going up. Look at it this way. According to the latest U.S. Census Bureau data, small businesses are responsible for over 95% of all net new jobs. And so far, of the two stimulus bills, small businesses have received less than 1%. And I think that's one reason we're still seeing unemployment go up. J.P. Morgan, for example, has gotten more money from the stimulus bill than all 27 million American small businesses combined. Mm-hmm. And I don't see anything changing, here in the near future. With
Let me jump in here because I want to ask Mr. Bozio, as a small business owner, have you had to lay some people off? I would imagine a lot of folks have. And have you had to dip into your own personal money in order to keep your business afloat?
To your first question, I laid off a couple of executive positions last year, around August, September. And then this year I froze all the hiring. We didn't hire anybody. And I agree with your previous guest. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't plan any hiring next year at all, just because, you know, there is so much instability in the market with the government intervention, with taxes, and so far this year I didn't have to put any of my money in the business.
And you haven't hired those workers back, have you?
No.
Give me a quick answer here, Mr. Chapman, if you can. What would you like to see from the government? What's the solution here, if any?
I'd like to see the government give small businesses more money from the stimulus, and I think the number one thing they could do is shift federal infrastructure spending to small businesses. There's a new bill in Congress right now, H.R. 2568, that would redirect $100 billion a year in existing federal infrastructure spending to small businesses. That bill would do more than anything that President Obama has proposed so far.
All right, Lloyd Chapman and Ricardo Bazillo, thank you so much. Hey, real quickly, what's the address of your restaurant so we can get folks to come visit you, Mr. Bazillo?
405 North Charles Street.
In? Where is it? Tell people
Baltimore,
where it is.
Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland. And it's called Soto Sopra. So hopefully you have a great holiday season and your restaurant does very well. We appreciate it. Happy holidays to both of you, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Still ahead, our April Ryan, she's going to join us with an insider's view on what it's like to cover the White House from the gaggle to the corridors. What are the do's and the don'ts, and she should know. We're back in a moment.